At Mercedes-Benz, there's a reason we go the extra mile, from testing our vehicles in desert heat and Arctic cold to creating AI that can anticipate your needs and preferences on the road. We demand that every car is worthy of our star because it's Mercedes-Benz.
It's time to be.
It is salted caramel season at your local Big B Coffee. Sweet and slightly salty perfection. The salted caramel lineup is back. And new for 2025, bundle up. Introducing Big B Bundles. Flavor meets value. Choose $5, $7, or $9 irresistible combinations. Be happy, be cozy, and be bundled at Big B Coffee.
It's time to be.
Hey, Free Beer and Hot Wings VIPs. The radio show's on vacation this week, and in the past, we've put up some episodes of the Steve and Kyle podcast in place of it. So this week is no different. Hopefully you don't hate us too much.
Yeah, if you're tuning in for the first time, thank you very much. We appreciate you even attempting this. We're 100 and some odd episodes in, and if this is not the first time you've listened, let us break it down for you right now. No, we haven't gotten much better. Yes, we still talk about the dumbest stuff you can imagine.
If you want to subscribe to the podcast, you can do it in iTunes, Apple Podcasts app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, all that stuff. Find us on Twitter at Steve and Kyle or Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle. Hopefully you enjoy it and you listen to all the episodes this week.
Thanks for listening and enjoy.
Appreciate the fact that you still stopped by to do the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I was busy today with appearances and stuff.
Right.
But I was able to pen you in.
So that's why you eventually left the table, because you said, I got a flight to catch.
Yeah.
Don't know if you know this. I do a podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good Morning America didn't tell you guys. I have to be their first show tomorrow morning, right?
We got a kind of passive-aggressive letter in our mailbox from our letter carrier.
Yeah, from the mailman, which, by the way, the man was just doing his job. Right. Serving this country.
Thank you for your service protecting the ends of driveways nationwide from sea to shining sea.
Yep.
You can tell that there was they have like a millennial who comes in twice a month to like make them sound hip.
Classes
because
and
it was
stuff.
like, why don't we take this to DMs and we'll figure it out? What's your record locator number?
Take this to DMville. Catch a train to Rectify Station. We're gonna make this better town.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
What the hell was that about?
It was you and your tiff with American Airlines.
Oh, of course,
and how you thought they clearly have some 20-year-old bro who comes in and does seminars that all the employees ignore.
Yeah.
Except for this one person who was no doubt like a 58-year-old named Ken.
Who has a note card sitting next to him with all of the phrases he has to type out.
Yeah. Ken has the script.
Take this to DMs.
Yeah. Let's take this to DMs, Steve.
It's the Steve and Kyle podcast, Sunday, January 28th, 2018, the year of our Lord.
A lot happening.
Still sounding good over there.
Yeah.
I've managed to, in the time that you've been sick, which is, about 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
I've managed to get sick, get over it. I would say I'm at about 95%. Still got that little bit of grossness in the sinuses, but yeah, for the most part, I'm good. How are you?
I've been sick so long now. You were gone. Now I don't even remember where you were. It was right after Christmas.
You mean Sandals, Jamaica?
Oh. What's that?
Yeah, it's an all-inclusive resort on the northern coast of Jamaica.
What is I never heard of that. All-inclusive?
Means that you pay one price. Oh, hey, we're going to start that over again. You pay one price, and everything's included. That's your accommodations, your food, the entertainment. It's all included into one price.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
That's something to consider if you have that kind of cash and you're living in the gated community like Steve.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, millions and millions of dollars were spent on that trip.
Did you empty, just a percentage of your 401k or all of it?
No.
For you guys to go?
I don't touch the 401k. The money for that came out of the swimming pool filled with gold coins, like in DuckTales.
Good. Yeah. So you didn't run outside bounce your head on wooden blocks and have those coins pop out like Mario?
No. That would just be silly.
That would be ridiculous. I mean, the
kind of-
swimming pool is obviously the backup
I know.
to the regular cash flow.
Kind of stupid thing, do you?
Yeah,
What
so-
are we dealing with here?
So I woke up, we talked about it a couple times, but the morning of December 27th was some type of flu, not the stomach flu, which I'm used to, but like a flu that, made you cold and achy and tired and all this.
Yeah.
And somehow it took like 2 weeks, but mostly got over that, went to Las Vegas, felt okay through the duration of that, got back, and couldn't stop coughing. And then by this week, Thursday, I sent you a picture, Steve. Now...
Yeah, I actually had that. Where was that?
I am up to taking 7 pills every 4 hours, and then about every other 4. So like every 8 or 12 hours, I'm taking like 8 to 10.
All right, so you're taking. Let's see. I got the. Let me pull this picture.
Now,
up.
this
The
is all in an effort.
Jumbotron, which happens to be working again today, for no reason. So you have some. I see the problem right off the bat, and I didn't realize this when you first sent me the picture. The problem is this generic...
Oh, don't give me that.
The generic store brand...
The generic is the exact same, Steve, as that name brand that you're... Listen, now I understand over here with William the Butler, the gated community...
Over here on the nice side of the tracks.
Swimming pool with gold coins and the wooden blocks with gold coins.
Yeah.
That you guys don't know what that is.
Well, all right, let me present to you some evidence.
Okay.
I didn't buy this garbage brand. I bought the good brand.
Well,
and I'm better.
I bought this Thursday.
No, go on.
I bought this Thursday.
I'm going to leave that one in there.
And I feel loads better.
You sound great. You look good.
Yeah, thank you. When I texted you Thursday, I was at a point where, your eyes hurt.
Yeah.
They're itchy, but they kept watering.
They're kind of heavy.
Every 5 seconds, it felt like I was going to sneeze.
Yep.
And it felt like you could pop my head with a needle.
Yeah.
It's so congested. So I believe I got a cold either right after I got home from Vegas or, I can't imagine those bastions of health airplanes.
Yeah, they're not the best. You're basically sitting in everyone else's germs because it's just, you're in a plane. You're 30,000 feet in the air. You can't crack a window
right
for fresh air. It's just recycled air.
And there's a chance that my body at that point, which was probably not fully healthy from my virus earlier on, and travel always kind of affects you negatively.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that that did not assist me in staying healthy upon my return.
No, not beneficial.
So, took those starting Thursday. Somehow, I don't want to call myself a true, a soldier, but
that's good.
The only way to compare what I did is what those boots on the ground overseas in Afghanistan and Iraq did.
Okay, let's hear it.
I went to bowling on Thursday, Steve.
You showed up, and when I saw you walk in, I stood up and saluted.
Yep. If I remember right now, again, it's all a blur. I'm taking a lot of pills. I believe somebody played Lee Greenwood's "Proud to Be an American."
Yeah, of course.
We were on a different side of the bowling alley, but I feel like there was a stand-and clap. From behind me?
Well, the one thing that must be noted is you walked upwards of 100 more feet to get to the lane where we were at.
Oh, trust me. I internally complained about that. I was not super thrilled about how much further I had to walk. There was no redeeming quality
to
that outside of obviously me trucking through.
Just head down.
Like an American hero to bowl 3 games.
Incredible.
And get us through the night.
Incredible. I thank you for your service, Serviceman Kyle.
What if I told you?
Just don't tempt me.
That is a real 30 for 30 story, and I thank everybody for their support. All the tweets, all the Facebooks while I battle this cold. And sinus.
Have there been lots of tweets? And
lots of tweets from companies like Allegra and Robitussin saying thank you. and we hope you can get through this.
Yeah.
So, what if I told you a little cold couldn't keep him down? What if I told you that on day 30 of a mystery illness,
It's a cold.
a mystery illness,
Maybe
he
the
wasn't
flu.
going to allow this little bug keep him away from what he was destined to do? What if I told you not only did he show up, he carried the team on his back throughout the first game?
Yeah, just the first.
What if I told you a little cold flu death disease wasn't going to stop this team from coming out victorious? ESPN Films presents Kyle, True American Hero.
Wow, boy, it doesn't seem like you've embellished any of the details at all.
Let's go over the facts of that.
Okay.
Sick for 33 days.
Yep.
Who won the first game?
Yep, yeah, you did.
Who is the true American hero?
That one may be up for debate.
Who has a disease that doctors, to this day, that includes the one visit I've made, have not been able to fully identify, Steve?
Really? So you went to the doctor, and they did we've never seen this before.
Yeah, crazy.
Boy, you're basically a medical miracle.
I walked into the doctor, last legs, and when they told me, the old hand on the shoulder said, you need to keep this together. You are a medical miracle.
Now, did they tell you to get your affairs in order?
They asked, do you have a DNR? And I said, I don't. I want you to keep me breathing via machine for as physically long as the state will finance me to do it.
That's what those are your dying wishes?
Yeah. What would you... Is that something you'll do when you're... obviously, you're what, 31?
26.
26? So you haven't even considered it yet, Steve.
No.
But is that something... When you're in your 50s, because obviously you've already had one heart attack.
Yeah, sort of.
A second one feels...
Imminent.
Imminent, that's the word. Have you considered... is that something you carry around in your wallet? Like behind your driver's license? Hey, doctor, here's my DNR. Like as you're gasping for air on the gurney.
I don't think that's a physical... I think it's just something they have on file at the hospital or something.
So the next time you go visit Dr. Whoever, getting your physical, they're checking you out top to bottom, say, Steve, outside of that heart of yours, outside of the ticker, you look pretty good. And you say, Doc, it's time for me to fill out the paperwork. If I have another one, is there an age limit?
If I call 911, something has to pop up that just says, don't
send one.
Yeah.
Even though you've gone out and called 911, sir, I'm sorry, but we have this paper on file that says...
Either that or just keep brushing it off. Be like, yeah, they are on their way, sir.
Yeah.
They have 2 more stops and then a lunch break, but they will be there.
They're en route. They're waiting for you to pass while you lay on the floor writhing in pain.
Sir, they are currently waiting for their curly fries in the Arby's drive-thru. They're on their way.
They've paid, so I really can't tell them they need to leave.
It's
weird, rude.
It's that weird, in-between where... yeah, exactly. You've already paid, so you don't want to waste your money.
Right. But is there an age, if you hit, you start thinking about it, is that something you're going to do?
A DNR? Boy, I don't know. Because I'm so paranoid that you see it all the time. The diseases that were prevalent 100 years ago or 50 years ago, now it's just take one pill and you'll never get that disease.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid that I'll have some condition. Maybe I get in a car accident and I have I don't know, I'm internally decapitated or something, or my torso falls off. And I'm paranoid that I will say, no, DNR, if that happens, I don't want to live. And then the day after, they'll be like, we got this drug.
Yeah,
it'll piece you back together.
Yeah, it somehow sucks your spine back up through your rectum and attaches to the nerves, and you're better.
And added benefit, you're also a world-class athlete.
Yeah, boy, a couple of extra things. Yeah, you now have the strength of the Hulk.
Yeah.
The penis of Ron Jeremy.
Right.
And, the hair of Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. I don't want that. Yeah, I think I'm...
So you're going to stick around.
I think I'm going to stick around.
So are we talking, for you, are we talking like cryogenics?
Oh, like Ted Williams cut off my head and stick it in the freezer?
but I think we should. I think it's important we choose a company not Ted Williams, because wasn't there a report that they were
kicking
playing
it around.
soccer with his head in the
what was that
warehouse?
Company called?
Oh, I don't know. Wasn't it like his son's company?
No. His son. I remember his family insisted that that's what he wanted after he died, and they presented this it was like his last will and testament, but it was hastily drawn on a Applebee's napkin or something.
Good.
And it said when I'm dead, freeze my head, Ted Williams. It was,
oh my God.
It was
he died a poet.
He did.
Ted Williams, the poet, went out flailing with one last poem. Good for him.
Let's see. Ted Williams will on napkin. Yeah, oh my God, I was actually right.
Was it really?
How a napkin put Ted Williams on ice. Yeah, it actually happened.
What?
Oh, there's a video. I don't want to watch the video.
As a family, though, what's more offensive? Your dad, you freezing your dad's head.
Yeah.
Or you, like James Brown, where they have his just body laying there for 60 days.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows
I thought
what
it was
to do
longer
with
than
it.
that.
Oh, he may still be above ground, Steve.
Oh, I gotta find this out.
What if James Brown right now is laying on a slab in some morgue?
Hold on. So I typed in, has James Brown been buried yet? Report. James Brown's legs were cut off, body moved 14 times after his death.
Do you think the first one was an accident and they had to match the second one?
What? Wait, why'd they cut his legs off?
Yeah, even if he's a diabetic, he's already dead.
Man, I am so interested in this that I'm not going to read any further on it, because that's all I need to know.
But that is fascinating, though. So what do you think is more offensive? Boy, that's a better scenario yet. You die, and your dad claims on a napkin that he wanted his head frozen, and then it ends up getting punted like a soccer ball in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Your dad dies, and you squabble with family over what to do with his body long enough that the morgue accidentally cuts his legs off and moves him more than a dozen times.
Now, how does that go? Morgue worker goes into work one day, he's flipping through the clipboard okay, I gotta embalm Mrs. Smith, gotta dress Mr. Jones in his suit and tie, gotta cut James Brown's legs off. What?
Was it a typo?
I know.
The only thing I could think, did someone want a memento? Is there someone's house where if you go and kind of in the curio cabinet in the corner,
there's a big mouth Billy Bass on the wall.
Yeah.
There's maybe a championship, a marlin that they caught off the coast of whatever.
Right.
And then there's James Brown's
Brown leg at the knee,
mounted to a plank of oak.
Right. Maybe they painted his nails, put a shoe on,
and there's a little brass or gold, engraved thing that just says James Brown's legs.
James Brown's. I mean, because again, if one's an accident,
right,
is two just to match him up. And now this might sound crude, Steve, but are you then able to save money on the casket because you're able to buy a younger version?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, baby casket.
You buy a baby casket
and you
for
just
James Brown.
You hope that no one notices.
Yeah, they
you hope that no one questions, why does he look like a magician on stage who just got cut in half by his assistant?
Yeah, I didn't think we went to Gary Coleman's funeral. So you walk in, and it's a public memorial. Huh. I always thought...
I knew he was short, but,
I always thought James Brown was 5'10", but...
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's about 3'3".
Yeah. Jeez, oh, Pete, what... Is that an eyeball missing? Did someone take one of those, too?
Poor James.
Do you think that happens? Like L.A., morgues or mortuaries.
Eyeballs?
No, but like mementos, right? Like bodies come in, whether it be like a shirt, like cut off a piece of the shirt of a celebrity who died, or a toe.
Well, those are two. I mean,
or a tooth. Like if you take
wait, you just jumped. You just jumped from
like
a piece of their shirt to a toe.
Like if you pop a back molar,
nobody would. Well,
nobody notices, right?
Though I mean, I guess it depends on how they died. If they died in a fiery accident and they need the medical records,
right?
Then it would probably like P. Billy 4.
Like Paul Walker, do you think the mortician scraped some ashes of P. Billy 4 into a cup?
No, I really don't. Because what are you going to do with them?
I don't know, but maybe.
I mean, yeah, you could sell them. No, you couldn't. No. There's not a market. There's not a market for celebrity ashes.
There's a market on eBay for. Oh, there absolutely is. There's a market on eBay for like air from Mount Kilimanjaro that is definitely just someone's like living room that they go woof. And
I do not believe it that you could go on. You could go on like the dark web and buy a celebrity's ashes.
You're insane. You can absolutely buy celebrity death mementos.
No. Celebrity death mementos, yes. So, like if you had part of the taillight from the car that P. Billy 4 was driving when he smashed into the wall or into a tree or whatever and died, yes. His ashes?
I think there's some P. Billy 4 rib ash.
You're getting real specific. You sure you want to plant your flag in this?
Somewhere on the internet. Now again, I don't understand the dark web and all of that, whatever comes with it.
Yeah.
I feel like this person scraped some P. Billy 4 arm or rib meat ash into a mason jar, labeled it
P. Billy 4 rib
ash. Send it right to the dark web, and it's cashing in. That's how it works, right? If I type in dark web, would the government come busting through the door?
I mean, I guess, I don't know about that, but I guess that I'm saying no, it's not possible. You're saying yes, it is possible that it's out there. So I mean, the burden of proof is on you to prove that it does exist.
All right, listeners, I'm going to need some help.
Anyone out there on the dark web?
Yeah, maybe. And I say ash, obviously, but I'm saying like pieces of this person. Like I think like a fingernail. No. And then when like the funeral director comes by and goes, "Hey, why is this guy missing a fingernail?" You say, "Oh yeah, I mean he must have been a biter and he got one off before he kicked the bucket."
Yep.
I think that's somewhere.
All right, well, I mean, hey, I will eat crow if somebody presents us with a celebrity death memento auction site.
Easiest thing to do would be like a hair. Like you could easily get like even like a tiny clump of hair.
Yeah.
Obviously, assuming it's not a P. Billy 4 situation and it's not all burned up.
Yeah.
You could probably get some celebrity hair.
Yeah, maybe. Man, I'm coming around with hair. Yes,
hair. Yeah. I mean, again, now
rib meat or arm ash. Don't know about that, but
the idea of rib meat ash, and arm ash is a funny concept to me. I think it's possible. Anybody who has any insight, listen. People who are listening to this have much more idea about what goes on the internet than I do. I don't have a clue.
Yeah, I did spend about 15 minutes debating with somebody we both know, Cy Nolan Ryan Young. He was talking to me. He had sent me a message about something on Facebook Marketplace. Are you familiar with Facebook Marketplace?
Absolutely. Open up your
Facebook app, and there's a little button at the bottom for Marketplace, right? Mine doesn't have it. So I was having this conversation with him. He's like, "Oh, you should check for it on Facebook Marketplace." And I was like, "Yeah, I keep hearing about people talking about Facebook Marketplace. How do I get to that?" And he was like, "You got to be kidding me, right? Like, you don't know how to, like, you're, for what you do, based on what you do, you should know how to do this."
Right.
So go ahead and open up your app.
It's open.
And show me where you get to Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, man. Just give me Give me a quick second.
Oh, you don't know how to do it either?
What are you talking about? I'm sure it's button away. I mean,
Go to this screen where like the little icons show up across the bottom, like your notifications and your friend requests.
yeah.
Do you not have that?
No. What do you? I mean, yeah. It's right. It's right there, right? That's the one.
Oh, you can't do it either.
No. What are you talking about? It's right.
Okay.
It's right there. Actually, I have the icon on the top.
Okay. So you have it right there.
Yeah. I mean, sure, an error occurred, but yeah.
I don't. For some reason, I do. My account does not have access to Facebook Marketplace.
Did you get Facebook restricted?
I might have. I look at Annette's phone. Her phone has access to it. I log into my account on her phone, and it disappears.
Oh, wow.
So I Googled this for like 2 hours one night. Apparently, for whatever reason, I am restricted. The feature is not available to all users. I cannot find or post or buy and sell anything on Facebook Marketplace.
Really?
If I try to go to it, I get a page that says this page cannot be found.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
I need to know why.
What did you do?
All right, Zuckerberg, or someone listening out in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Why can't I access Facebook Marketplace?
Yeah, what did you do?
I don't know.
Did you get snippy with
But
like an
seriously,
admin?
He's sending me Chris is sending me screenshots saying, dude, it's right here. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't have that. So I sent him a picture, I sent him a screenshot back. Yeah, no, I don't have that. He's like, yeah, you gotta update your app. I go, my app was updated 2 days earlier. I'm like, it's not that new.
I got it.
What do you got?
Have you tried turning your phone off and then on?
You know something?
You haven't done that, have you?
You know I haven't. Let me do that right now.
I mean, I hate to get all better than you IT on you, but
yeah.
I mean,
if this phone had a plug, you would have asked.
I would have asked.
Try unplugging it.
Yeah. Did you use it plugged in?
Try plugging it back in.
Like that was the most insulting thing
your-
ever, right? When they you're asking about something on the computer while you're looking at it.
Yeah.
Was it plugged in? Dude, I'm staring at the screen.
Yeah.
Like obviously it's plugged in. Do you think that's like their in joke? All IT people.
Yeah, it definitely is.
If we have any IT people listening, we need to know. Do you do that on purpose?
They do. They definitely do.
Because, well, you've got to know that's the most condescending jerk thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even a second place, I don't think.
Right. No, that is... It's the worst. And you want to tell them, like, if you call customer service about something or you call tech support or whatever, because they have their checklist where it's like, okay, what I need you to do is go to your browser and type in this. And it's like, dude, I've done it all.
Yeah.
I've done all of that. I've shut it off. So let's just skip to, like, step 8 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Expedite this a little bit. I want to be done with this. You want to be done with this.
Get me past the first
I'm
few...
sorry, sir. We have to start. We have a process that we have to go through and got to start from the beginning. Okay.
Get me past the part that you talked to Gertrude with.
Yeah. All right. So we have restarted.
All right. So we
the
got the phone off.
I'm even clearing out all my apps.
Oh, Corey, look at that. Look at that. You're going to have a fresh home screen, Steve.
Starting. Oh boy.
Maybe that was your problem.
Apparently,
Maybe it was a little bogged down.
Apparently, every app in the world was open. Okay. Now here we go. Oh boy. Shocking.
Right there, top.
Shocking. It didn't work. Did not work.
Now, did you type in marketplace?
I did.
That didn't help, huh?
Because I'm like, how does everyone else know how to do this but me? And then I found out that I'm restricted from using it because I was selling something. I'm in the process of trying to sell something.
Yeah.
So I had it posted. I'm a member of a couple of different groups, Facebook groups. So I posted it in 2 of them, and now when you do that, it gives you the option that says, do you want to post to other groups?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So one of the options was Marketplace. So I tapped on Marketplace. I'm like, oh, cool. Nice. I can post this to Marketplace. So it posted there, but now I have no way to get back there to access that post.
Wow.
So if I need to update it, so I finally figured out this really janky workaround where I can get to it, but it's like, I have to go to here, click this, go to this, refresh this, go to that. Whereas everyone else can just go, dunk,
now, does it work? Is it just the app, or does it work in the browser? Like, if you're at work on Facebook.
The app won't work at all. If, for instance, again, Chris sent me a Facebook Marketplace post because it was something I was looking for. And he's like, hey, man, I found something that you might be interested in. Sent me the link to it. I tap on it on my phone. the Facebook app quits. It just sends me back to my home screen.
Wow.
But if I pull it up on my computer, it'll load, but it loads in like this really weird way.
Yeah.
And yeah, it makes it very difficult. And if I ever hit refresh, forget it. I'm back out. And I have to start from the beginning.
So you pissed off the Zuck.
I did. I don't know why.
You think that goes to his desk?
Yeah.
He puts the final stamp that says "Ban Steve" from the marketplace.
I don't understand it. I Googled it for like an hour, and apparently not everyone has access to Facebook Marketplace. I'm one of the people that does not have access.
Well, maybe it's still in beta.
Maybe. No, it's been out for
like a year.
forever, right?
Yeah.
And that's the weird thing was I was always like, I always hear about people talking about Facebook Marketplace, and maybe I just overlooked it. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it's like in my settings, like turn on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, oops, I must have accidentally.
Shucks, I had the setting wrong.
Yeah, no, I just don't have access to it. So now, I guess if I want to buy or sell anything, I have to let Annette know since she has access to it.
Maybe they saw your Craigslist trends.
Oh, maybe.
And they were like, "Oh, well, we can't have this riffraff giving away free garbage."
You know, I just thought of what it could be. But it's that bastard post office.
Bite your tongue.
they're
How dare you?
Oh, they're all in cahoots.
What if Facebook has a deal with...
Time out. Hold on. I think I've just realized what... remember I was telling you, this is total inside baseball stuff, but last week I had made notes of, like, as the episode goes on, I make notes about, like, things we have to edit or things I want to make note of.
Yeah, me coughing.
Yeah, about 2 minutes ago, I wrote down 2210, cough. It's now at 30.
We're at 30.
What the hell?
Are you... Question.
Okay.
When's the last time you were at the eye doctor?
I have great vision.
Oh, is this what we're going with? Is this what we're going to try?
I'm the only one in my family that doesn't... Oh, no.
Oh, no. These are stacking up. Boy, that is weird. I wonder if you're... Huh.
I'm... Don't worry if I just stare at that screen.
Right, don't worry. Listen, I've done the Kyle show before. This isn't a big deal. When you have that second heart attack that no doubt pops a vessel and you're gone, I'll take over the reins and we're going to be fine, Steve. I appreciate someone to bounce these ideas off of and another voice in the room, but it's also just as fine for me to monologue anywhere between an hour and 40 and 2 hours and 30 minutes once a week. This is what the people want. Okay, now I know you don't... Now, I know we have our generic Gmail account, but I have my private podcast email account, and it blows up weekly with, oh, my God, Kyle, when are you going to go out on your own? Take that equipment and run. Get out of there. You don't need this anchor anymore. It's like you've placed your feet in cement, and you're just treading water trying to stay afloat after the mob threw you in the water. So...
I'm just trying to get another minute.
Staring at the clock. A 2-hour podcast of me talking about how I need to be on my own.
Oh, by the way, I ran into somebody, where was it? In Nashville.
Okay.
We were down in Nashville. Somebody wanted me to relay to you that they really want to hear the first 13 episodes of A Little Off Topic.
Off topic?
Something... Maybe, I don't know.
Was it Riding the Pine? I know
it might have been Riding the Pine.
There's been someone who's hit us up on Twitter a few times.
Yeah,
about
one of your former podcasts. Like for whatever reason, the first like 12 or 13 episodes are not available.
Well, because the old podcast hosting site we use, which you and I used to start, was limited on space.
Oh, okay.
So when we got to like episode 40. We ended up having to start deleting early episodes from that server.
Gotcha.
So we could. But let me see if I even have those.
Oh, okay. Come here.
Hey, I think I do. Nope, never mind. Lied to you. There's somewhere. I keep meaning to dig for them, but I never do.
All right. So, like we normally do, the first half hour of this podcast has been all over the place.
Yeah.
We've So if anyone knows of any celebrity
Death mementos.
death memento, now we're not talking about like we said, the piece of the tail light from the car accident.
Right, that's fine. That's neat, but not what we're looking for.
I want Princess Diana's finger.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can find that. You send it to us. You send us a link. Encrypted on the dark web or however that happens.
however you need to do it.
Yeah, Abby, just
Jump around.
Just hop right across the counter. Why don't you let her crawl right up on your shoulder?
Yeah.
Abby, get up there. Tap your shoulder. Come on.
Yeah, shoulder's a little sore. Don't want to go through that. But if you find those, please, you have to send us that link. Well, yeah, encrypted.
Right.
Maybe just take a screenshot.
Yeah.
Send that to us.
Yeah, actually,
I'm not going to get involved with that.
No, not at all. So you mentioned earlier bowling. We're back.
Yeah, another season. Feels like it just ended yesterday.
I know it did. It was... Well, the last time we bowled, I think, was just before my wedding.
Oh, was it? Yeah, you're right.
I think it was the week before the wedding, and then we didn't do... There were only like 2 after that, and Jana handled them. Thank you very much to Jana for doing that. But yeah, we were back in action last week. I think I bowled a 166 at one point. I struck out in the 10th frame on one of our games. I was very happy. I had a personal interaction with somebody who I don't believe we've ever talked about on the podcast, but it was a very awkward interaction. As I was walking back, I had just done some giveaways. So I'm walking back. I have a couple of T-shirts in my hand and a couple of CDs. And a guy who's been there every week, he said, "Hey, man, what do you got there? What CDs you got?" And I was like, I'm not a stickler with prizes, so like if you express any interest in wanting something, sure, of course.
Take it.
He's like, "Oh man, can I get a T-shirt and a large?" I was like, yeah, definitely. Gave him a shirt. And then somebody else who I had never seen before came up to me and with kind of a blank stare said, "There's a Joe."
Hang on. Did I hear the word jowl at the end?
No. That was, "Where's producer Joe?"
Oh, boy. Okay.
So I said, "Oh, yeah, he's, at this point, it's like 9 o'clock on a school night for us." I said, "Oh, he's probably at home. He's, doing his own thing." Tell him I said hi.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
I was like, "Yeah, of course, I'll tell you. I'll tell him you said
Yeah, I'm
hi."
passing that along right now.
Do you know my name? No, ma'am, I don't. This is
Okay, so either you or Joe are in a romantic connection.
Yeah. Like, nope. No, I don't know your name.
Hey, you know what size shoe I wear?
Tell us hi. Okay. What was your name? It's Megan. All right. Well, I'll do that. Well, see you later. And then conversation ended.
What would happen if you go to Joe, Megan said hi? He's going to look as befuddled as I am.
I know. Like, do you want to give me any more context? Like, "Oh, we used to work together." Or, "Oh, his friend is dating my sister."
Right.
I need a little bit more.
Yeah.
Hey,
Literally.
Joe, Megan says hi. Cool.
Oh, all right. Tell Megan what's up.
But yeah, so bowling season back in full swing. We'll be back there in just a couple of weeks. So
and I don't know if you heard.
What you got?
There was 30 for 30. Somebody had to come in hot to carry the team in that first game. Well, I already told you all.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, we already did this. Yeah, coming hot to carry the team. And then you carried the team. We only lost by, 300 pins?
Oh, it was easy, 300-some pins.
Because we had no handicap, because that was our first
first game. So we just got smoked. I think we held our own for the ball-getting portion of the evening. Yeah, that thing was a runaway. Listen, we're very bad.
No, we're terrible.
So without a handicap, there's nobody we're going to beat there.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Plus, you were sick, still sick. I'm getting over being sick. So, that easily accounted for 250 pins.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So next time we'll be back at it better than ever.
Yeah. Now we've, obviously, so we talked about bowling is back. But and coming up a little later, we're going to have a guest. But before that, we need to set something straight, Steve.
All right, what's that?
We've got somebody who, at this point, is pretty much embarrassing themselves.
Yeah.
Begging to be on this podcast.
Oh, it's terrible.
I'm a little bit embarrassed for him.
I'm a lot embarrassed for him.
Because he has my phone number.
Yeah, he's got...
I know he has yours.
He's got mine, too.
Just ask. I mean, publicly...
Yeah, I mean, maybe don't tweet about it. I mean, It makes you look pathetic.
So what we're saying, Free Beer, is that you know how to get a hold of us.
Yeah.
And if you need to be on the most listened to podcast within a 3-block radius of Steve's house.
5 block.
5 block.
Yeah.
Ratings are going up. All you have to do is ask.
Yeah, you just have to... I mean, is it so much to ask for you to beg?
Yeah. Shameful self-promotion and begging on Twitter is gross.
Apparently, something that we had talked about a while back on this podcast got back to Free Beer, and he now wants to come on here to set the record straight about something. But I mean, as you know, we have a lot of we got a lot going on.
I'm staring at the rundown.
We got a whole
I don't
rundown.
even know what. I don't even know where we could pen him in.
We have to get to a call with a man named Mark who, I don't know, listens to the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very important call to
Right.
get to.
So that's a big deal. We've got the Fast Five coming up. Mm-hmm. So, like we said, there's a lot happening today.
There's a whole lot going on.
That
But
we're going to have to try to schedule an episode where we can squeeze him in.
Yeah, he had talked. Somebody tweeted last week about there should be a Steve and Kyle and Free Beer and Hot Wings super episode or mashup episode.
Hard pass.
And Free Beer replied, "I would love to, but I've been banned from the Steve and Kyle podcast."
Which, first of all, partly untrue.
Yeah.
Because if I have to see any more photographs of our beautiful, gorgeous T-shirts being shunned at live events,
Yeah.
that banning will take place.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's in the process.
Because just because, there's room in this neighborhood for a morning drive radio show and the top listened to within a 5-block radius of Steve's house podcast. That there doesn't need to be this rivalry that he's created.
Yeah, we can coexist.
I mean, sure, we were the first ones to say don't mention that show's name. And sure, we're the first ones to tell our listeners to please mention the podcast if you get on air on that show.
Still 0% success rate.
Outside of Josh, who had Dumber Than the Show trivia
that's right, yeah.
and dressed up.
Yeah.
So again, we put the call out. If you call into the Steve's side gig, the morning radio show, which will not be named, and you get on air, easy to start off with. Hey guys, love the show, love the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Yeah.
You might get hung up on,
But you'll get some garbage merch from us.
but you will get some garbage merch. If that happens, obviously Steve's there. He hears it. He'll know it happened. We'll be in touch. We'll make that thing happen. So that's always the call we like to put out. So, yeah, that happened earlier this week where he said, I believe it was something along the lines of, I would, but I've never been invited.
Yeah.
Hashtag banned.
Hashtag banned. And then somebody said, somebody described the ways in which he could get on the show by listening to an episode, leaving a review, and then sending his review.
You're not getting by on your celebrity status here.
Yeah.
If I don't have a 5-star review somewhere, you're not getting on these airwaves.
Yeah. It's easy enough to do.
Yeah, the reach we have.
iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play,
Stitcher,
TuneIn, Libsyn, anywhere you
and
listen.
I know he listens to podcasts. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy enough for him to do. So all that has to happen is for Free Beer to do that. So please this week, anybody listening, anybody on Twitter, please tweet at Free Beer Greg. That's 2 G's. Free Beer GREGG. Tweet at him. Hashtag. What should the
I don't know.
hashtag be?
It needs to be creative, though.
Oh man,
We'll get back to this.
it has to be something. Oh man, even if you don't use the hashtag, tweet at him something along the lines of, "Hey, why haven't you been on at Steve and Kyle?" Make sure you tag us.
Maybe hashtag no thanks.
Oh, yeah. Hashtag no thanks, and then at Steve and Kyle, so we can see that. Now, what we want is this confusion for free beer to reign.
Well, we should make it even more confusing then. Like, hashtag spaghetti hat. Just so he has no clue.
Hashtag no thanks, hashtag hard pass, hashtag spaghetti hat.
At Steve and Kyle.
At Steve and Kyle.
Yeah.
And that's all obviously at Free Beer Greg. Now, that it's not that difficult. Please, or even, the Free Beer and Hot Wings Facebook page. Mm-hmm. You can tag the Steve and Kyle podcast in that as well.
Oh, that's
please,
a good
please
idea.
do that. You can send him an email if you're more comfortable doing that. I believe that's freebeer@freebeerandhotwings.com.
Yes, it is.
Just please mention to him, no thanks, hard pass, spaghetti hat, at Steve and Kyle. Because
and what exactly is the goal of?
Well, we want him to understand that this public play for attention on his part, acting like he's been banned, is not going to fly on these airwaves. Okay, the internet airwaves will never forgive these lies and deceit. He's trying. If he wants a pity invite, I'll give it to him. You know what? I'll give him a few minutes. He can talk his ear. He can talk everybody's ear off, but I will not allow one mention of that side project of his.
Oh, yeah. He is
on this podcast.
He will be our guest, Greg.
Yeah, he is Greg, who we'll talk to about sports. Or better yet, something he has nothing, like no clue about. Like, we got Greg. We're going to talk about your best spaghetti recipe this week.
Yeah. Or the unification between North and South Korea.
Yeah, or his recent take on the UN relations. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
Yeah.
The second I hear one of these, plugs for his side gig, we're pulling the plug.
Gone.
He'll be lucky if we can get through to him anyway on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. We do have a long-standing tradition.
But until this
issues.
podcast gets the respect it deserves and demands, Steve, on that side gig, which is, I'm not even asking for a lot. I'm literally asked just to not be fully disrespected, right?
Yeah.
Calls getting threatened to be dropped. A man dressed up in Steve and Kyle podcast garb for Dumber Than the Show, and it didn't even get mentioned.
Did not get mentioned once.
I've seen photographs at live events. People attending who just want a nice picture with their favorite morning radio show, wearing their favorite podcast T-shirt, with their backs turned in disrespect to this podcast.
Yeah.
All right, Greg. Game on. The onus is on you.
Ball's in your court, fella.
I will accept an apology, and then we will talk about having you on the program when time permits.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, again, look at that. The Jumbotron doesn't lie. We've got a lot to get to today. And this is pretty much weekly. So we'll try to get him in. Again, please hit up at Free Beer Greg on Twitter, Free Beer and Hot Wings Show on Facebook. Hashtag no thanks. Hashtag hard pass.
Hashtag spaghetti pants. Or spaghetti hat.
You said pants. I said hat. Either or will work, I think.
Yeah, sure.
And then make sure to tag on Twitter at FreeBeerGreg. That is our target for this week. That may be a moving target in weeks to come. We may adjust show members.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot to discuss with him.
Yeah. Just blatant disrespect.
Yeah.
I mean, it offends me to my core, Steve. Well, speaking of the guests we have to talk to, do we want to get them on the phone?
Yeah, why not?
All right, so let me...
this is Mark. You have his review pulled up?
Yeah, Mark left his review way back, May 9, Steve. This one's been sitting in the queue for quite a while.
Yeah, a bit.
But as always, we mentioned, we'll talk about it again afterwards, but if you leave your review, that's all it takes to be eligible, Steve, for 2 minutes of awkward conversation. We'll give you those avenues after we talk to Mark here. Left his review in May. Pure Gold, the most binge-worthy podcast out there.
Wow. That's a
the
compliment.
only complaint you'll have is that after binging every episode, after mini-sode, you'll have to wait a week for another fix of the Steve and Kyle podcast. It's a 5-star review, Steve.
That is a 5-star review.
That's what we work so hard for.
I'm surprised, though, it doesn't follow the traditional complisalt.
Yeah.
Or like where it's compliment, insult, compliment.
Right. Now, full disclosure, I used to work with Mark, as I used to work with, we spoke to him, I want to say 1 to 2 months ago, Bryce. And Bryce and Mark are good friends, and Mark has a real bone to pick with the way Bryce displayed him on this podcast a while ago. So
don't remember that at all. Can hardly care about that.
That was a long time ago. So so this is Mark, who lives a lot of questions because Mark lives in the middle of nowhere, Upper Peninsula.
Okay, well, let's see if we can get him on.
Hello?
Hey, Mark. Steve and Kyle podcast here.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you, sir?
Wonderful.
Now, we were glad to find out that your phone works. At last check, Mark, you live in the boondocks. Is that still accurate?
Boondocks, we could say that. Great UP, other words for it, yeah.
Yeah. So you know you're using the restroom. It's an outhouse.
You've been here, so I wouldn't exactly say
you
that.
have to go outside and run on the wheel to power your house.
You have
every few hours.
You no doubt have a pet bear.
A pet bear? Yep.
No, but I have a pet cub. That's just from a bear. That's not even a bear yet.
A caribou. Walk your backyard.
Yep.
Regularly.
No, I have a moose.
You no doubt play hockey from January to December.
Yeah. You take
Oh no.
Take a brief break for Christmas.
Yeah, do you take your one respite for that 1 week where it's not frigid to enjoy your life? Is that all accurate then, Mark?
So far from accurate. So far.
Sounds pretty accurate to me. I'm glad to have you on board. Now, Mark, you used to live where we live, which is West Michigan area, you know, not like a massive town, but what spurred you, like, if you had to just, like, do you miss it at all?
Oh, yes.
Civilization,
I miss the convenience
people.
of everything.
Have you fully understood how to speak in grunts yet? Or is that, like, does that take, like, 5 to 10 years to do?
Well, I already have, like, 5 years under my belt, so I'm halfway there.
Okay, good. Now, obviously, you just got in from a long morning of trapping beavers, so you have enough pelts to make it through the winter.
Yeah.
What else is on tap in the Upper Peninsula today, Mark?
Yeah, well, have you dammed the river to catch the salmon?
No, I haven't. I woke up and turned my TV channel. It's powered by my bike.
Yep.
So
You had to go do some like 2 hours of biking to get the morning news.
Yeah, so that was very exciting. That's a cool way to start the morning.
Mm-hmm. Now you're not.
I had a shovel.
In all seriousness, you're not off grid, are you?
No, not at all.
So you have a power line running to your house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you flush your toilet, it goes either into a septic system or into
like a city sewer.
Into a city
It goes to
sewer.
the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't just have to take 5-gallon buckets from your restroom and go drop them in the creek when you're done?
Oh, no, not at all.
So
Okay,
why'd you move? Why'd you get up there?
My wife is originally from here, and she found a job back up here.
Okay.
So I'm like, let's go to the UP.
All right. Then why haven't you fully committed to living off the grid then?
Yeah.
What's stopping you? What's holding you back?
Why would I?
I don't know. Why would you move up
It's
there?
so easy the way I'm living right now.
I guess what we're getting is, what's it going to take you to get off the grid? Like, what's it going to take for us to get you away from technology and the rest of civilization?
But see, if I got off the grid, how would I talk to my favorite podcast?
That's a good point.
Well, I mean,
Or listen to my favorite podcast.
You can still have your phone. You can still have your cell phone.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that off the grid then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Your house needs to be not connected to any. Like, go out there where that power line's running into the house. Just take an axe to it and
Just cut it.
cut it
Yeah.
right.
Don't need it.
Yeah. It's. I mean, it's not dangerous.
Boy, I can't wait for
How
you
about I
guys
try
to.
that? Well, go ahead.
Well, I can't wait for you
How about
guys
I
to
try
get
that in the
cable up there,
summertime?
Mark. I'm really excited for you guys to get like cable and all the fixings, like a department store.
Fixins.
Oh, goodness. We have a Meyer now.
Whoa! Big
Yeah.
time.
Fancy man.
They sell clothes, motor oil, and food.
Well, I thought an hour to get there, but we have a Meyer.
Oh, so it's a day trip. It's a day
day
trip.
trip.
Boy. That, do you miss living like in amongst the people?
Sometimes, yes. I don't miss rush hour. I don't have that. At 5 o'clock, I just go home and don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, you just got to make sure.
Nice.
You just got to make sure the deer. You don't get that day where like the cows are crossing the road before you can get home from work.
Well, that
you know.
happens.
So where you live,
that
it's you're in the dark season, right? Like it's dark for 6 months.
I mean, I'm not in Alaska, so no.
Are you sure about that? Now we want to double check. Have you been outside? Have you checked your compass lately to make sure that's not true?
I mean, I'm looking outside right now, and I can see everything
Okay.
pretty clearly.
And it doesn't look like Alaska?
No.
right.
I actually see some spots of grass here, actually.
Now, Mark, you're a distance runner. Do you still do that? Do you still partake in marathons and half marathons?
I've had like a little hiatus from that.
Okay.
Been facing a little knee injury, so
what's it going to take for you and Steve, like, to motivate each other? Because Steve's off the wagon as well.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys need to give each other a pep talk at the same time to get back on the wagon. 3, 2, 1, go.
Call Bryce Freeman. Done.
What?
Huh. Well,
Bryce Freeman, he's an avid runner down there in the great GR area.
Huh.
I think he's all the motivation you need.
Mark, I'm more worried about you, man. You're up there in the middle of nowhere. You're no doubt packing on a beer gut. You're not running anymore. You're not running through the woods. And I know Steve gave up on distance running. I'm just trying to get you guys back on the horse.
I've actually thought about it. Like in the last couple of days, for some reason, I've kind of gotten that little itch. Has been like, maybe you should go out there. Just
yeah.
I don't think I have any desire to do marathons again.
Yeah.
But I've thought like maybe I should just go out and run a couple miles,
Okay.
see how I feel. I know I'm going to feel.
Well, what you do is,
I'm going to feel like garbage, but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, inevitable. Sign up for the Riverbank Run, which is in May.
Yeah.
And there's motivation right there.
Yeah, but
we don't want to throw away $50 to sign up for it.
Hang on.
And do nothing about it.
Oh, man, they're all full up, Steve. That's a bummer. I just Googled it. The Riverbank
that's a
Run,
shame.
full registration.
Yeah, I've done that run one time and vowed to never do it again just based on when it is, because it's in May, so you have to start training now, the worst time of the year.
In the winter.
Yeah, and unless you have an indoor track, it's not happening.
If you can train through this, I mean, you can train through anything.
Yeah, I know. But I don't want to.
See, there you go. But I don't want to.
All right, well, Mark, while we have you,
That's
tell us what got you so hooked on this podcast that you decided I need to leave this 5-star review?
Well, what happened was I was so tired of Kyle's consistent and constant posts of listen to the podcast. I'm like, God dang it, I'll listen to this podcast.
That's what you do.
It's guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, I mean, it was I don't know, it was badgering.
Well, it
Almost to the
worked.
point of, like, I'm just going to block them.
Well, it worked, so suck it. And we can't thank you enough for getting on board. And also, suck it, because it worked.
Yeah.
It works. Apparently it works, yes.
And obviously, the other most important question here we have before we let you go, Mark, are you hashtag Team Covered Bridge or hashtag Team Suspension Bridge?
Oh, you got to be Covered Bridge, man. You're up in the middle of nowhere.
How did he get there?
Well, yeah, just because he's used...
How did he get
just
there,
because
Steve?
I've used a suspension bridge before, and it doesn't mean I like him.
He's been on it, so he understands the beauty and awe, and he's awestruck.
I've been on it, too, and it's a bridge.
Yeah, and you know what yours is 2x4s with a roof. Adorable. So, Mark, hashtag Team Covered Bridge, hashtag Team Suspension
Do the
Bridge.
right thing, Mark. Do the right thing.
Team Suspension Bridge.
Boy, Mark. Another one for the good guys. We are happy to have you.
Look at that. We accidentally lost Mark.
Oh, no, Mark. What a pleasure to talk to Mark, though. Another one for the good guys.
It was not a pleasure. It was in. Now, somebody did post, somebody tweeted, I think, a picture.
Oh, yeah, I did see this.
It kind of combines your two loves.
I wouldn't call one of them a love.
Well, I mean, it's... No, I completely stated that wrong. It's the yin and the yang in your life.
Right, right.
It is one of your loves and one of your biggest hates.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how you actually took this. Somebody posted a picture of a covered bridge with a massive Coca-Cola logo painted on the side of it.
Yeah. John Martin. He said here's my first problem. Hashtag Team Covered Bridge. Boy, look at that. It goes all the way like 4 feet in the air, Steve. Whew, so useful.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty picture.
Isn't it? It's beautiful.
Yep. That's something.
So in spite of it having the logo of something very near and dear to your heart.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
if you walked
to sign my paycheck, so yeah.
If you came across that bridge, you would still spit on it and knock it down.
Oh yeah, I dropped some C4. Get that thing in the water. Get that over with, We didn't have a chance to talk to Mark, and I do regret this.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry that
it's you know how the connection gets down here.
Well, plus he's up in the UP,
Yeah, you never know. You lose it, right?
His bag phone must have cut out.
He turned his car off, so the AC adapter, it ran out of power. Mm-hmm. But I did want to tell this story about Mark. Now, I worked for a different company, and Mark worked for a different company. We'd see each other out most days. And so we'd talk, and I would always give Mark a lot of grief. And finally, there was one day where, I don't even know what precluded this, but I looked him in the eye, and I said, you know what? You're as ordinary as a plain breadstick. And that was his nickname for the remainder of the time that I worked with him. He was in my phone as Breadstick. Totally unfair to Mark. Mark's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Moved up to the Upper Peninsula to be with his wife. Just had a beautiful child. Mm-hmm. For all intents and purposes, is a very nice man. And I could not help but give him nothing but grief day in and day out and make fun of him.
It's terrible.
No reason.
It's terrible.
No reason. But I wanted to ask if he remembered that. But you know how connections
I'm sure he
get.
does. It sounds like it might have been the motivation.
That probably hurt.
Might have been the motivation for him to, move up there, get away from you.
So
that whole story about, my wife got a job.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Number one, Kyle insulted me. Reason number...
Had to get away from the bully.
409, wife wanted to go there.
Boy, I was a bully.
You were.
A bully. But no, it can't go glossed over. Well, before we get back to it, if you want to be in the running for 2 minutes of awkward conversation, please leave a review. Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn. There's a lot of podcast apps. Most all of them have a method to leave a review. Please do that. Screenshot it. Send it to us on Twitter, Facebook, or just tell us you left it. Tell us your username. I can pull it up. You will be on the list for 2 minutes of awkward conversation. And you can be insulted like Mark just was for more than 2 minutes.
Who wouldn't want to be in the running for
but
that?
Can't get glossed over here, Steve. You're looking to get back on the horse. You're going to be you lacing up the New Balances. Going to be out when I pull out of here today. Mm-hmm. If I do like a big lap, so I did a couple blocks around, I come back.
Yeah,
am I going to see you doing high knees on your porch, getting ready to go out for your first jog in how long?
I have not run consistently in 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you did the half marathon 1 year ago?
No, I went down to Disney
but it got canceled.
to do the half marathon 1 year ago with zero training. I was going to run that race with no training, and the heavens opened up, and the greatest miracle that I'm assuming that the Pope is going to officially declare this a miracle. Right. The night before, the race was canceled.
Wow.
Because of bad storms that were going to be rolling through the area. So I hadn't run in one calendar year. That takes us back to the beginning of 2016 when I did the half marathon then, having only run, I think, 3 times.
In preparation.
But the 3 times I ran were in September and October, and they were for about 3 miles each.
Yeah, so you were on that cool down.
Yeah,
that's what they talk about, that 3-month cool down.
Right. Well, after you do 9 miles of running spread out over about a month, you have to cool down for 3 months.
3 months
before you run the 13.
So at that rate, to train for a full marathon, you'd have to start training 2 years in advance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So before that, I hadn't. Yeah, it had probably been 6 months before then that I had been consistently running. Annette and I were running very consistently, probably 3-4 days a week.
Okay.
And then it just I lost the fire.
So you've lost the fire for running?
Yeah.
Wayne Dreamboat quit on you?
Wayne Dreamboat walked out on me forever.
All your fitness dreams
gone
to the garbage dump.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would also like to say that part of it was when I lost my gym buddy. His name was Kyle.
Yeah. And you know why that happened, right?
Well, yeah, because
he ruptured Achilles tendon.
Yeah, fragile bones.
My floppy
you could have
foot.
still gone to the gym and sat in a wheelchair and done like...
I could have done like baby curls while sitting on a bench with my cast on my leg.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, to get there and open the door and all that, it would have been a headache. But no,
they're
that's
nice people there. They would have opened the door.
You think
I bet
so?
if you had said, "Hey, can somebody shadow me the whole time I'm here and hand me weights?"
I need a spot.
They would have been more than happy to do that.
Just walk over to the leg press.
Your leg is only like an eighth of your body.
Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Huh. James Brown didn't need any legs when he died. You ever think about that?
Chop it. Take it.
You ever think about that?
If you're gonna chop one,
yeah. Next time you hurt your leg, just think to yourself, James Brown got buried with none of these.
No, and if he can die without two of these, why can't I live without one? Right? Next time you... Boy, that is offensive to the Brown family.
It's just...
Unbelievable.
It still blows my mind. I don't know. That website that I went to could have been... fakenews.net.
Yeah.
But in my mind, James Brown, his legs were cut off when he died.
Yeah.
And he was buried in a 2-foot coffin.
For some reason, I envision that James Brown, somehow he lost his legs, but those people were like super delicate and they kept combing his hair because he had that big waft of hair.
Yeah.
But they wanted him to look nice, but somehow they received an order to chop both of his legs off. The most amazing thing ever.
Yeah.
All right, so we need to get Steve back into running. So anybody with any, please send your motivational posters.
I will. I would do it for, I don't know. I would just I need the proper motivation to do it. I mean, I know I want to get back into shape.
Okay.
That alone, though, is not motivation for me.
So send your focus eagles, your attention giraffes.
Attention giraffe.
Whatever motivation you can think of. At Steve and Kyle on Twitter.
Yeah.
Hashtag get Steve back on the track.
That's a long hashtag.
Hashtag Steve back on track.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking back on the track, but you don't run on a track. You run outside.
I'm sure that I have run on a track before, but
right. But that wouldn't be your regular. So send your motivation at Steve and Kyle. Hashtag Steve back on track. Yeah. That'll get Steve back running. Now, this has been, Steve, I wanted to ask you about this for a few weeks now. Mm-hmm. And you said this is the perfect week to talk about it.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about things that we thought might become, the new online obsession. Now, I had a guess about this last week. I thought maybe you started dipping your toe in the cryptocurrency market.
Nope.
It's not it.
It's
But you've told me that you have a new online obsession.
Yeah.
Now, again, this is a few weeks old. Is it still...
It's gone. It's completely
already
gone. But there are fruits to the labor.
2 weeks, and it's gone.
Yeah.
What could that be?
Well, it's been gone for 2 weeks, but it had been bubbling for 3 weeks to a month.
Okay. So is this something that, like, you get that new song that you love, so you just play it on repeat, and then after 3 days, you're like, ugh, I can't listen to that one more time?
No.
So you didn't beat yourself out of it?
There was an end game in sight.
You got to that end game?
Got to that end game.
All right.
Months ago, I was introduced... I watch a lot of auto-related shows.
Lord, don't we know it.
On YouTube, on various channels.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Did you have, like, RC car repair... 4x4 off-road vroom vroom.
That was extreme off-road. Was on my Fast Five for
Big Tires Go Loud Noise.
Yeah, that was the show.
That was one.
Big Tires Go Loud Noise.
Racetrack Go Fast Vroom.
Suddenly I become a caveman in my speech. So I watch a lot of programming about, like, building vehicles and things like that. And it's always something I've always wanted to I never wanted to, like, buy the 57 Chevy and fix it up brand new, but something along those lines. I've wanted to this one channel in particular that I watch. This guy, buys salvaged vehicles, like vehicles that have been in rollover accidents or flood damaged vehicles or something. He will buy them from an insurance auction for pennies on the dollar,
Right.
and then fix them up to where they're basically brand new vehicles. And I've always thought, that seems really cool. I want to try that.
Now, are you talking like cars with... So, like, the roofs are crushed?
Yeah.
Where do you even start with something like that?
Well, I didn't want to do something as extreme as that.
Okay.
I wanted to do, because I ever since like years and years ago when the 4-door Jeep Wrangler came out, I always wanted one of them. But look at the price tag of them. Like the 2018s just debuted, and you can at some dealerships have them on the lot, but it's like $40,000 to get it all equipped the way that I want.
Right.
Not happening.
No.
Not a chance. So I decided, well, maybe I'm going to start looking for one that's a couple years old, maybe has a little damage that should be repairable.
Oh, a 4-door.
4-door.
So now compared to your Jeep that you have now,
Yeah.
which is a 2-door.
Which, by the way, is for sale.
Oh, is that the big...
That is
that's the big marketplace
That is what I
fiasco?
was attempting to post on Marketplace. You
Okay.
You in the market? In the market.
So all that work of lifting what may be the world's heaviest car part ever to fix your clutch, right?
While you were injured.
While I was injured. That was to fix your clutch, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the transmission and the transfer case.
Was for you to now be able to turn around and sell that vehicle.
Yeah. What did
That's
you want
like
me to? Did you
asking-
want me to keep it forever?
It's like asking someone to come paint your house so you can list it. Like for help. Like if you text me like, hey, you want to come, can you come help me paint? I'm looking to sell this house.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Huh. So that's the type of person you are, huh?
So let me get this straight. If you were to help me paint a room in the house, I am then committed to living
5
there
years.
for the rest of my
5
life.
years.
5 years.
I think there's a 5-year moratorium on paint.
Okay, what
For
about,
the car part we lifted with a jack.
Hypothetically speaking, what is the timeline on clutch?
How long had you
replacement?
had the Jeep?
How long had I had the Jeep? 2.5 years, maybe.
I would have said you only needed to hold it another 10.
Oh, okay. Well,
I would have
good news. There haven't been a lot of bites.
Okay.
So
10 years is right around the corner then.
10 years is looking pretty possible.
Okay.
So I was introduced to this website called Copart, and it is a
CO part? Okay.
Copart.
All right.
From this website, you can search for vehicles by year, make, model. Mm-hmm. And I found one.
Found one that you wanted.
Well, I found like 10.
Now, before we get
basically eBay. It's basically eBay, but for cars only.
Okay. Is
And,
your car listed on here? Is your Jeep?
No.
Have you considered it?
I have, but that's a last ditch effort.
Right, because then it wouldn't be local. You'd have to deal with distance and all of that stuff.
Well, they take plus they take a decent
Hard
size
pass.
commission and
Hard pass.
I don't know. It just seems like kind of a pain in the ass.
Right, I get it.
So based on this, I went to this website, signed up for an account. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll just click around for a bit. Mm-hmm. Cleared it with the wife. She was on board, but she said, because I told her, I was like, I really want to get a newer Jeep. I want to get rid of my Subaru. I want to get rid of my old Jeep. I want to have one vehicle. I just want to simplify things.
So you're talking from the sand dunes on Saturday to work on Monday morning.
That's right.
Same vehicle.
Same vehicle.
Okay.
Same vehicle.
Now this would be the first time for you. You've had multiple vehicles.
I always have a little...
when I met you, you had the 16 Ford Rangers.
Yeah, I did have a couple of Ford Rangers. Now, I know that sounds weird, but keep in mind, the one Ford Ranger I paid $700 for.
Right.
The other one I had that since my freshman year of college.
Okay.
So
safe to say you were running a junkyard.
Essentially.
Yeah.
It's just so then I got rid of both of them. I had the green Jeep for a while. That was then I got rid of the green Jeep and I had the old Subaru. I get bored.
Right.
I get bored with things.
Right.
But this has always been like the end game. Like I've always wanted this 4-door. And so Annette, I talked to Annette about it. She's like, I'd be okay with that as long as it's a 4-door, because when we have kids,
right,
there needs to be that
2-door's not practical.
2-door's not practical at all. You got to fold seats back, and getting a baby carrier,
awful,
not gonna happen. So I set up a little search on here, so I'd get notified of anything popped up that fit my search criteria.
Right.
So I had a watch list of maybe 8 or 10 vehicles. Now the way that it works is, if say you're driving your car, you smash it up, get in an accident, and it's totaled. Mm-hmm. The insurance company then pays you out for that car. They take the vehicle, and it goes to a yard where it just sits. And if it is within a certain, if it's reasonable that it could be repaired, it goes to auction. So then somebody like me goes on, they see, oh, I want to buy that car. The insurance company sets a price on it. It then goes up for auction on a certain day. Now, with a lot of them, I had 8 or 10 cars on my watch list. A lot of them didn't even have a date set for auction. It just said future, because of all the red tape.
Right,
paperwork.
and insurance companies have never once moved fast, and that's never going to change.
So a couple of them, and a lot of times when they finally did get a date for an auction, it was like, oh, it's up for auction the next day. Mm-hmm. So there wasn't a whole lot of time. So I had found a couple of vehicles. I bid on one, and I lost to someone in Ghana who outbid me.
What happens with now? So on this website, it's listed by the insurance company. Mm-hmm. How does that work now? Does this person from Ghana then pay to ship it?
Yeah. That's the thing about the website is when you, let's see here, name a vehicle that you would like to get.
Like a 2016 Ford Taurus.
Boy, you're really shooting the moon, huh?
Is that big?
I mean, it's kind of bland.
Oh, sorry. You think like dream car?
Yeah.
Okay, dream car, 1999 Plymouth Prowler. You remember that?
Yes.
Had the look of the old hot rod.
Oh boy,
there probably won't be any on there, Steve.
Oh boy, there we go.
Whoa!
Yeah,
all right,
this.
All right, get Katie on the
wait
phone.
a minute. No, these are all
those are trailers.
Yeah, apparently there were trailers called Prowlers. Okay, so we may have to.
So maybe the Ford Taurus isn't looking too bad after all, is it?
Maybe. All right, so let's try and look up some. My mouse is not working.
You know what? Just pick your Jeep.
Well, no. I want to find one for you.
Okay. Well, the first one you guffawed at.
Well, let's see.
And the second one you gave me camper trailers. So, excuse me if I don't fully buy this website is for me.
Oh man! Oh boy! Shockingly, Plymouth is not listed.
Well, they've been out of. You know what? Let's go with like a Chevrolet, a Camaro, Steve.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna get a Camaro. What year?
Let's go new. I like that new style. Let's go like a 2015.
2015 Chevrolet Camaro. Okay,
there it is. Okay,
here we go.
Hit me. 57 of them.
All right, so let's
much
see.
more affordable than I thought. Obviously, so these are salvage, right?
Right. Now this one. So this Camaro right here, nice red Camaro.
Gorgeous.
Looks like it rear-ended somebody.
Yeah.
So what you do is you go and you add that to your watch list. Mm-hmm. It'll tell you when the auction is up, or when the auction is on. Like the auction's Monday at 2 p.m. Say, so you pull up the app,
yeah,
and it just has a list. Like there may be 200 cars up for auction that day. So you pull up that auction, and when your car is on the block, you bid, and it'll tell you if you've been out.
How long does it go?
The auction.
Yeah.
Oh, the auction?
So it says right there, like sale date. So that goes for 2 more days until 10 a.m. Eastern.
That is when the auction is. Like this car is up for auction on the 30th.
Well, it already has a current bid
at 10 a.m. Yes, you can pre-bid.
Oh,
so you can pre-bid on that, which is kind of stupid because all that does is run up the price. Right. So that will hit the auction block on Tuesday at 10 a.m.
Okay.
When it hits the auction block, it's on there for maybe a minute. And it's bid.
Oh,
but
boy.
There may be 100 other people bidding on it.
Yeah. Now, my favorite descriptor on this website, so it lists all the damage. Because like you said, so these are all salvage vehicles, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Water, front end. I'm sure it has rear. My favorite description, all over.
Yeah. There are some, like if it's, you'll see if a vehicle has rolled over,
Yeah.
the description will be all over because, when something rolls over.
Right.
So I managed to find a vehicle that I really liked.
So,
And what they do is, look, they have a,
wow.
say I want it delivered.
Here.
Type in your zip code.
Yeah.
It will tell you how much the shipping is. Because this one is coming from, I think, South Carolina, I saw. Yeah.
Yep.
Columbia, South Carolina. So the cool thing is, if you win the auction, it automatically adds in the shipping. Mm-hmm. You have to do nothing. You don't have to call a shipping company. Hey, I just want to know how much it's going to cost.
Right.
Here's where you have to. They handle everything. You pay that price. That price gets tacked on to whatever you pay for the vehicle, and that's it. A couple days later, you get a call from somebody saying, I have your vehicle. I'm going to be there on Thursday at 2 o'clock. So I found a vehicle that I really liked that had some front-end damage. Yeah. A bit.
Okay.
Well,
now, are we talking fender bender at 30?
Well, it was enough to total the vehicle. The vehicle has a salvage title, which most of the vehicles on here are salvage titles. That does not concern me whatsoever. So this vehicle has it looks like they hit a pole because the front bumper, instead of being straight across the front, is like
a V.
It's like
a
V.
snowplow V type of thing. Yeah.
Which, they hit something pretty hard. Mm-hmm. The whole front bumper is trashed. The grill is trashed. The passenger side fender trashed. One of the wheels pushed back a bit in the wheel well because some suspension parts are broken. The windshield is smashed. Mm-hmm. But other than that, it runs, it drives, and it was delivered to my house. 3 days ago. And it was driven off of a truck up into our garage.
So it's in the garage right now.
It's in the garage right now. Because I don't want to be the trash house that has the smashed up car parked in the driveway.
You already have the neighbors hating you enough with your Sunday antenna business.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's now sitting in the garage, and I have an appointment because the frame is bent on it in the front where normally the frame sticks out straight.
Yeah.
It's kind of like frame horns are pushed in a bit. But the rebuild has begun.
So are you going to hire out the rebuild, the fixing?
The frame straightening, yes. And I need to hire the same company, same body shop is also going to paint a fender for me and paint a new grill for me. But other than that, I am attempting to piece this thing back together on my own.
Boy.
Both airbags are blown. It looks like somebody was drinking a soda when the accident took place because everything has like a layer of sticky high fructose corn syrup on it.
That feels like something when you get it to the point you could just pay $150 and have the interior fully detailed.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I could just take it somewhere to get detailed. But my goal on this is to do it for a reasonable price. But I was doing some of the math yesterday, and if everything goes according to plan, and I was overestimating a lot of the prices, I will have this vehicle put back together for half of what I would pay for it if I were to go out and buy it.
Wow. And timetable?
By summer.
Okay. So for now, you got the Subaru.
For now, I got the Subaru,
You
but
got
as soon
the
as
backup Jeep with that
the Jeep
fresh clutch repaired.
Let me tell you, if you're in the market for 1980 Jeep CJ5,
if you're listening, that's only 38 years old.
Only 89,000 miles. 89,000 original miles on the clock. It's got a fiberglass body, which, by the way, is being dropped off at the same body shop tonight to get the repairs.
Get that snowplow repaired?
The snowplow kiss will be completely repaired.
Nice.
Thanks to the insurance company who will be cutting me a check for that. That'll cost me $0.
Perfect.
If you're in the market, brand new best top, soft top, only about a year old on that thing. Like I said, full fiberglass body, not going to rust. Fiberglass doesn't rust, Kyle.
Wow, that's beautiful. And especially where we are in a lot of the other northern, it's a pretty big problem with salt.
4-speed SR4 transmission.
So that's a manual transmission.
It's manual transmission. It's also got a Dana 300 transfer case. That's the part you were talking about that weighs about 11,000 pounds. Freshly resealed last summer. All new seals in it. But yeah, the Jeep is up for sale. Serious offers only. Serious inquiries only. No, I am not selling it for $800 like one man sent me a text asking for.
Really?
Add another zero to it, and now we're in the ballpark.
Now, did you have it on, like Craigslist, you have it on all the general avenues, so you actually got a text
Yeah.
to your backup phone number, because you're
My
smart,
backup phone number.
for an $800 offer.
I replied, ha, no.
That was it, I hope?
That was it, yeah. There was no further interaction.
Boy, the biggest scumbags on the planet right there on that website.
Yeah.
So now what does this mean for the truck that you recently purchased
Oh, that was
to
sold.
do the engine swap?
Sold that.
You sold that.
Sold that a month and a half ago, probably.
So the engine swap obviously is no more.
I still have the engine. It's at my friend's house.
Okay, so you sold the frame of a damaged truck.
Yeah, I scrapped it.
Okay.
Scrapped it and got back what I paid for it.
So you got an engine
I
out
bought
of it.
the thing, took the engine transmission out of it, got rid of it, and broke even.
So now you just got an engine. Now, is that also sitting in the garage?
That is not in my garage. It's in my buddy's shop.
Okay.
But any serious interested parties in the Jeep, I'll tell you what, you can have that engine for free.
You ever think maybe you're tackling one project too many? But now you're focused on this four-door. So now this is it, right? Because it makes more sense, because obviously with the two-door, you just wanted more power with that two-door Jeep that you had.
Well, yeah, and I just decided that it seemed easier to have one vehicle.
Yeah.
Granted, the convenience of having two vehicles is great.
Sure.
Oh, this one broke down, or this one has to go to the shop. Great, I have
a backup.
But I'm an adult now. If I need another car, I'll just get a rental car for a couple days.
Or even if it's in the shop, most shops give out loaner cars for a day or two if you need to.
So it just I'm kind of at a point where I'm trying to simplify things, trying to save a little bit of money, so I'm not paying insurance on two different vehicles.
Right, and registration every year.
Exactly, yeah, registration every year. Plus, we just want something. It'll be nice, like if we want to go, for instance, we go camping a couple times a year. We go up to an area called Silver Lake, which is beautiful sand dunes right on Lake Michigan.
Yeah, sand dunes, vroom, vroom, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Big tires, sandbox.
Right.
Go big.
So it would be nice to be able to drive up there in a little bit of comfort instead of in a vehicle that sounds like you're in a helicopter.
Oh, those Jeeps are horrendous
which
for that.
I do like. It is part of the charm of having one of them. I like that vehicle because no one else has one. Mm-hmm. I can drive down the road and I never see the same one.
Right.
Which is ironic because now I'm getting a vehicle that I drive down the road and I'll pass 50 of them on my way to work in the morning. But hey, it's a give and a take. That vehicle is great. I love it. It runs well. It's time to release it out to pasture and let someone else
deal with the problems that will no doubt come with it.
You're really not helping the sale.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have I told you
we'll
that
we'll edit that out in post.
Have I told you that it's got a brand new clutch?
Did we tell you about the transfer case?
Transfer case is
89,000 original, Steve.
Original miles.
You're not going to find that at any car from 2015.
It's not even 3,000 miles a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy low. Maintained to the best possible degree.
Yep.
No doubt.
Mm-hmm. So here's what I want to do at this point in the podcast. I want to pause. Mm-hmm. I want us both to walk upstairs.
Okay.
Walk out to the garage.
Sure.
I want you to look at the vehicle, not say a word, and then we'll walk back down here and start recording again. And that's when you can give your honest.
Okay.
Your
My
honest
thoughts
input.
on what we're looking at. Okay.
All right. Here we go. All right, we're back. Mm-hmm. We just walked upstairs, out to the garage. You saw the vehicle for the first time.
Yeah.
First reaction, gut instinct.
Boy, that's a nice Jeep, Steve. Silver Lake 2019 is going to be very fun.
2019? You have no confidence.
That's, There's some things to be done there.
There's a little bit of damage.
A little bit of work. I believe my first question was, did the rest of the front come with the Jeep?
Yeah. Yeah, there are some parts missing, but I've already started tearing it apart because when I, like I said, I have an appointment to take it to get the frame straightened on it. So I had to, the front bumper, normally it's held on by 8 bolts. Only 4 of them were accessible because it was crunched in so much that I couldn't get to them. So I had to use a saw to actually surgically remove the bumper.
Okay.
I had to cut it off because the more that I can do, the less time they're going to have to work on it. The less time they're going to have to taking pieces off and figuring out this and that. So if I can just take it to them where they can just strap it down and start working on it, I save a little money.
Now, you said it's drivable.
It is.
So
currently, it was driven off the truck into the garage. There is a mount. One of the suspension parts, mount broke in the impact. So I have. Luckily, the mounts were $25 a piece.
Okay.
So I ordered one. It'll be here in 2 days, and my buddy is going to weld it on. But in order for him to weld it on, I have to take the entire front axle out from under the vehicle and take it to his shop. But it's going to take him an hour to weld it on. I just have to hit it with some spray paint so it doesn't rust, and then I can bolt it back under. And the only other thing I have to do in the front end crash, there's a little, you know how like if your car's low on power steering fluid, you add some fluid right into the little reservoir. That happens to be all the way in the front of this vehicle. So in the crash, that broke. There's no power steering fluid in it right now. So I also ordered a $19 power steering reservoir, bolt that on, put some fluid in the system.
All right.
It'll be driving.
Okay.
So you're saying 2019, summer of 2019, you're giving me, 16 months to get this thing back together?
What other, project-wise, are you staring on the barrel of? Like anything house-wise?
Here at the house? Yeah, we're going to be doing some painting.
You're doing some paint. So it's relatively light stuff. We have yet to set a start date for, obviously, APS 4.0.
Oh, yeah. We're talking maybe 2022.
Oh, good. So the APS is what's suffering for Steve's Jeep shop.
I got a plan.
Oh.
We could go knock on the door of the house I used to live at.
Sure.
See if they can cut us a deal on a
rental fee.
Like renting out the studio space.
Renting out that studio for 2.5 hours once a week.
Yeah. What do you think?
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's as likely as you driving that Jeep in 2018.
Really? Throwing down the gauntlet.
No, I mean, obviously, I think it's very possible, and knowing you'll end up spending 16 consecutive Saturdays from 8 until sundown.
I actually have
gluing on one part 6 different ways or 6 different times, realizing that, it had to be adjusted or whatever. I'm sure it will be done.
Yeah.
Sometime this summer.
There's a good chance it's going to be done a lot quicker than that.
Really?
I don't know if it will. Ideally, in a perfect world.
Yeah.
Actually, my buddy Bob, who you know, Bob is flying out here in about a month. The sole reason he is coming out here is to work on that vehicle.
For a weekend, going to help you for 2 days or whatever.
He'll be out here at 2:00 on a Friday, and he flies back at 7:00 on Sunday.
So it gives you, about 18 work hours.
Yep.
Work on that Jeep.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was. He's coming out here. He's bringing tools on the plane with him, all those little scanning and diagnostic tools and everything. And but yeah, so the rush now is to get that front axle uninstalled, fixed, reinstalled,
right?
Power steering fixed in the next week and a half, because then it's off to the body shop to get the frame straightened, because I need it back, obviously, for when Bob gets out here. What do you think?
This doesn't feel like an aggressive timetable at all, man. I think you're right on. I think you're right on schedule to get the axle uninstalled, welded, and reinstalled.
Yeah.
You're right. I think you're good. I think you're smooth sailing. So is this the portion, the most difficult portion of it, or is there going to be a point during this process where you fear you might get stuck, or it's going to be really heavy lifting, you might have to hire it out?
No, I feel like obviously the most difficult is straightening the frame. I'm not doing that.
Right.
I don't have the equipment, the expertise, or the desire to do that. So that is, I spoke to somebody yesterday, the same guy, like I said, who's fixing the white Jeep, which is for sale, by the way. So
I haven't heard.
If you happen to be interested in a 1980,
it's 38 years old, guys.
Jeep CJ5.
But there's not, 1980, Steve, that must have like 500,000 miles and a rebuilt engine on it?
It's funny you say that. It's got $89,000 on the stock engine.
Whoa, that's it? Mm-hmm. Pretty much brand new, what you're telling me. Out of the box.
Just past its break-in phase.
Right.
So if you're interested in that, please, serious inquiries only.
And so we established the baseline of serious inquiry being not $800.
Not $800.
Okay, so if you're sending an offer and it's $800, and just make sure it's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think is what we're talking about. That probably 10 times.
Yeah, roughly
more than that. I think would be a starting point to consider. So don't send an $850.
Yeah, and if you think that that's too high, I encourage you to look around.
Sure,
try and find a
compare that 1980 Jeep C9
CJ9er
CJ5
C5er. That's dynamite, I believe.
JC 130er. Compare on the
1980 stealth bomber.
Yeah, the 1980 B2 Mustang P49.
Yep.
No, definitely send Steve your inquiries. Now, again, the shipping charge will be on you.
Shipping charge will definitely be on you, but I would be happy to work with you on getting it set up.
Yeah, you could even come pick it up right at his house. We'll bring you in for a podcast.
You can come pick it up at the
house.
McDonald's down the street.
And we'll bring you in for a podcast right into the basement. We'll introduce you to Steve's wife, Steve's dog, Lola.
Yeah, maybe you can stay
over. Come on in for the podcast. Yeah, he's got a bed.
Yeah.
Spare bed.
Boy, I don't like this. It's just been sold.
You got a nice pull-out couch.
Mm-hmm.
You can come visit the sites. He'll take you on a tour of the town. If you buy from a distance.
Oh, look at that. We are right up against.
I tell you what, these computers are acting crazy. First it drops Mark, and the Fast 5 intro just starts playing. No, hey, good luck, man. I'm excited for you. I didn't know any of that was going on.
So the question is, you going to be in for some wrenching? Some putting in the old work?
Yeah, I won't be dragging around a dead limb for the most part. Yeah, I mean, again, you know my limitations.
Yeah. How do you feel?
If you tell me, hey, hand me monkey lug nut, and I go, and throw my arms in there, you're going to have to understand.
Okay.
I need more description on the monkey lug nut.
How would you feel about uninstalling a front axle?
Well, you've got me on board. Here's my only follow-up, Steve. Do you have a heated garage?
I do have a heater. I have a propane heater that I can
done
fire
deal.
up. Yeah.
Done deal. We'll get that thing up to a crisp 83.
It is a bit cold out there. I've actually been thinking about getting a one of those wood stoves.
Oh, really?
Like you can get a little wood stove fairly cheap.
Here's what you do. You turn on the powder coating stove. Just open the door.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's not expensive.
No, that's fine.
I'm getting rid of that, by the way.
What? Why am I even coming here anymore?
Don't worry, though. We both know someone who just bought a powder coating stove.
That's the dumbest purchase of all time. Who would be such an idiot?
Sigh.
Oh, that idiot. The dumbest guy on the planet.
He's got a stove.
The biggest moron.
He's got a stove that a coworker of his built specifically for powder
coating.
I'm
sure this is going to work great. Yeah, a handmade stove. He probably went to the local junkyard, got parts from cars.
No,
there's going to be like a tire on the side. That's one of the walls. A front bumper is the door.
Somebody took apart like a regular electric stove and then built a massive box for it and then just put all the parts from the stove. Like you open it up and there's like the spiral burners in there and the heating element.
So our microphone arms are going in that.
Yes, they are.
All right. So you gotten rid of the stove.
I haven't gotten rid of it yet, but I'm going to.
All right. So if you're interested.
What have I told you? That I have a late 1980s era Magic Chef stove.
Originally intended for powder coating. But
originally intended for powder coating, but now has more gristle on the inside of it. so you could feed a
family of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is so much crap stuck to the inside of this thing.
All right.
But yeah, if you want that, feel free to get in touch with me, and I will not tell you my address, but I will drag it down the street from my house.
He'll drop it in the front of
And
the...
then I'll drop a pin on GPS and text it to you.
Okay, so we need to figure out then, with Chris, when we can get these mic arms in the oven.
Yeah.
Because I figure we'll use these as the test.
Yeah.
You know?
then
See,
if they don't work,
get them that nice blue sheen.
Yep. And
Powder
since we're going to be in this room for another
4 years,
couple of years, I think maybe we should build a table or something.
Okay.
We've done that before. We got that.
But we can't have this one anchored to the wall.
No.
So this is going to be a standalone.
Yeah,
so
it'll
we're
be a
going to need
standalone
4
table,
legs.
which we'll build in a way that then it can be moved into there.
Can we get like a curtain? Again, way too spacious. Can we get like a curtain or one of those retractable walls in here?
A retractable wall.
Well, yeah, you know, like the...
Oh, like the accordion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay, good.
No problem.
It feels like it's been run by Annette and it's good to go.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. You
All right.
are like... It's like
So-
you set in here to
I know.
ruin my day.
Apologize.
The truck's gone, so the engine swap's not happening.
Not happening.
Then then our powder coating stove, we had a side business we were running. You just... Right out from underneath me.
Gone.
I guess I'm going to have to keep working.
Yeah, sorry.
No
apologize.
retirement
But hey.
fund coming early.
Give you a ride in that Jeep once I get it put back together.
Yeah, I'll. You know what? I will go ride one of those big hills with you. Is that what,
you wanna-
what you guys do?
Should we make some kind of wager on whether that thing will be drivable or not by a certain date?
I think it'll be. I do think you'll be into this, considering you can literally drive it right now.
Yeah.
So mechanically, outside of that, the frame bent. Mechanically, though, it feels like you're 95, 98% good to go, right?
Boy, that's a lot. I would say 40.
Really?
There's a lot of work to do. A lot of work.
So you've got a friend coming out in a month. That puts you at the end of February.
Yeah, I would say the main concern is airbags. Airbags have been deployed on it.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about those systems, but
I got you.
there are like sensors.
No. What I saw out there, you bunch it up, stuff it in,
Stuff it back into the steering wheel.
and then do you have like some like electrical tape?
Oh yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
That thing will reinflate right when it pops out.
It's just as safe as the day it rolled off the
Right
factory
off the line, man. Right off the line. No, I would. I bet you'll be in that thing by July.
I'm thinking. I think my tentative goal is May.
Okay.
We'll see.
I guess I'm kind of adding in probably like a month to 2 where you don't touch it.
Yeah,
based on where you're going to be gone on the weekends and traveling and doing this or that, to where you'll probably go through March and realize it's been sitting there without being touched. So you're back again with parking one vehicle
outside
in the driveway.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Your neighborhood's going to hate you.
Well, right now my vehicle that's parked in the driveway is just my car. It's a normal looking car. There's no like painted fenders or primered fenders or smashed in. Like, just looks like a car parked in the driveway.
Just like a car parked at your standard apartment complex with people who don't have garages.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. Oh, we gotta go so I can start working on that Jeep.
When
now.
the cul-de-sac convention meets and you get a summons left on your doorstep in regards to your garbage house that you keep adding trash to.
I gotta call Rec.
Rec will
come pick it up.
I will appear as a character witness, but to leave it as a mystery, I will not tell you which side I will be defending.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. You will have to wait and find out like the rest of us.
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, sure, it bumps the APS 3 years, so send your hate to Steve. Hashtag APS now. Hashtag we want the APS.
Hashtag justice for APS.
Hashtag burn the Jeep.
Oh, that seems very rude.
Hashtag justice for APS.
All right, now, as I said before we started recording, when I woke up this morning, about 10 minutes before you normally get here,
Yeah.
I said, oh, God, I don't have anything on.
Right.
on my Fast Five list. I managed to throw it together. Now, a couple of these are duplicates, but from previous weeks. But there have been updates in all of them.
Exactly.
So I wanted to get your updated reaction. So first one, Larry Nassar.
Only getting worse.
Yeah, he's been sentenced in the time that we've been away.
Yeah.
To 175 years in prison.
Only getting worse.
All right. Next, North and South Korea.
I don't know if that matters.
It seems weird, right?
Yeah. Happened very quickly.
Yeah. North Korea just said, "Hey, let's reunify with
and I
South
don't
Korea."
know if it matters. I really don't know if it'll matter.
Next, the XFL. It's officially been announced that the XFL is coming back in 2020.
Yeah. Where do I sign up?
Really? You're on board?
Oh, I want in on that franchise.
Okay.
I want stock options. I'm in.
Okay. Next, Air Force One.
Oh, you mean that garbage plane?
Did you hear? Did you hear about the updates? It's
a couple $1 million fridges.
A couple of $1 million fridges. If you mean a $23 million fridges, then yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's affordable.
Yeah, it seems
probably
weird.
Went to the scratch and dent clearance center. Got the GE.
But it's weird. I remember a tweet from then President-elect, now President, talking about how bad they were getting ripped off for the new Air Force.
Yeah, wasn't going to use it.
Yeah, very weird. Okay, finally, the Pro Bowl. It's today, right?
Yeah, it's a darn shame it conflicts with one of the greatest sporting events that the every year has to offer, Steve. So it's a darn shame the Pro Bowl has to get overshadowed by the Royal Rumble.
Oh, that's tonight,
That
isn't it?
is tonight.
Yeah.
It starts. The pre-show will be kicking off promptly at 5 p.m. Eastern. Now, this is in Philadelphia, so I assume your brother,
he's there.
my former friend Mike, is there. He'll be cheering on all of my favorite wrestlers for me tonight.
Yeah, he's got all his T-shirts on.
Beautiful.
Joey's there. Joey's there with his face painted.
Yeah, they need to stop the Pro Bowl. It's I get it because a lot of people have incentives in their contracts. So hey, you make the Pro Bowl, you get an extra $100,000.
Yeah,
you're putting players at risk. Nobody watches it. It's an exhibition game.
Yeah,
just change it to flag
Hawaii?
football. It used to be Hawaii. Now it's in Florida, I think.
Oh,
I think it's in Orlando now.
Bummer.
Or Arizona. But they moved it to stateside.
That sucks. That would be the only reason if I
you get a free Hawaiian trip.
Athlete,
it might actually be back in Hawaii. They might be alternating. I'm very I don't care enough to really look into it, but it's kind of neat for Hawaii because they don't get any events outside of the University of Hawaii. So I don't know what they can do for it to change it to make it a thing. Like make it a flag football game, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cheesy. It's weird though because every other all the other major sports leagues. I mean, the Pro Bowl is the NFL's All-Star game.
Right.
But all of the other...
Middle of the year.
Yeah, they do it in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So,
and they get a break and everything. So, and so this one you're missing... Anybody who played in the Super Bowl can opt out. I mean, you can opt out for any reason if you want. Say, I'm hurt or whatever. But I don't know. I think it's well past its prime.
Yeah. Before that, we talked about Air Force One. They just approved... let's see. I didn't realize Air Force One was as old as it is. That plane was originally commissioned and came into service in 1990.
Okay.
So the plane is almost 30 years old. Obviously in need of some updates and 2 new refrigerators for Air Force One. $23 million.
Oh, I thought you misspoke because I thought you meant like $2,000.
No.
Like, because if you and I went down to the local big box store,
Nat and I for a while we were shopping for a new refrigerator, and you can get a very nice top of the line refrigerator. Like you can get one of those smart refrigerators.
Yeah, you touch screens and pictures,
with like 10 iPads built into it, and even those the most expensive one, which we would never get, was like $4,000.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm a little confused as to where the other 22.
Maybe it's both. Maybe it's no. We've all seen Indiana Jones, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Steve. Maybe it's one of those fridges that defends you from a nuclear bomb.
Oh, could be.
So you just rip all the shelves out, jump in, and you're saved from a nuke.
Yeah. So this is
in the air.
$23,657,671 for a couple of new. Now I think that this headline is a little misleading. It's not 2 new refrigerators. It's like the entire chiller unit for 2 massive, I'm sure they're like the big walk-in freezer refrigerators.
Yeah.
So essentially these new things the new refrigerator units will they'll have enough storage space for to feed like the president and a fully loaded Air Force One for weeks at a time. So this would eventually be this could essentially be a like emergency home that has all the food that they'll ever need for a couple of weeks. But yeah, it is weird how, like, back in December of 2016, Donald Trump tweeted, Boeing is building a brand new 747 Air Force One for future presidents, but costs are out of control. More than $4 billion. Cancel order.
Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
So, $23 million for
affordable.
A couple of fridges. Why don't they get, like, a few Yeti coolers and, throw some stuff in there, and it'll be good.
Yeah. Last you forever.
All right. Before that, we had the XFL. Vince McMahon officially announced.
Yeah, it's
the XFL
coming
is
back.
coming back in 2020. Seemed a little vague on rules.
Yeah.
And where teams would be. I feel like 2 years is not a lot of time to build a league.
But it's double the time he gave himself for the first incarnation. The last time he announced this, it was in 1 year they started football. And obviously not enough time, the talent, no preparation. So he figures double that. It'll be great. But yeah, he's kind of pigeonholing himself. So he already said if you have anything, even a DUI, you will not be welcomed in this league.
Yeah. It seems like he's really trying to cash in on the whole not standing for the flag sentiment that's been going on this season,
right.
Which I fear 2 years from now is going to be a non-issue. People aren't still going to be as fired up about it. Even now, they're not as fired up as they were
no.
at the beginning of this season or the end of last season.
Now, if we see, though, 2 more years of downward trend in NFL ratings, I think it's something to definitely look at. Maybe there is a spot for a competitor,
So it's going to be played basically like the USFL was back in the 80s. It'll be played during the NFL's off-season, so spring, spring, summer.
Yep.
Did they say 10-game schedule and then playoffs?
8 teams, 10-game schedule, and then 4 semifinalists, and then obviously the championship. So a lot of speculation that this might not even happen. He's just doing this to kind of leverage a new networking deal for the WWE in terms of TV deal or streaming deal. So I don't know, $100 million is a lot to risk for a joke type of thing.
You got to respect the guy for putting up his own cash.
He's a 75-year-old man who is still trying to do something new with his money instead of just resting on his laurels.
Yeah. All right. Before that, North and South Korea. North Korea basically announced that they want reunification with South Korea.
Yeah, it feels like a real ploy. I mean, I don't think anything will come of it. It's a nice PR move. I mean, definitely for the Olympics and the visual of it. Like, hey, they're talking.
So does that mean reunification? Does that mean that when there was East and West Germany, does that mean that the wall comes down and then it's just Korea?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mean, the demilitarized zone goes away. Who's the leader? Who's in charge? Yeah, is it Pyongyang or is it where are the Olympics? They're in South Korea's capital. It's Pyeongchang or something.
Isn't it Pyeongchang?
Pyeongchang. Okay,
is that right?
Well, I know Pyongyang is north.
Wait, is that the only difference? Boy, we're woefully underprepared for political discussion.
Well, we always are.
No, it's.
But I want to know. I don't know how that works. Mean?
Yeah,
what does that mean?
Because I feel like that's opening up the South for just becoming under the thumb of Kim Jong-un again. Anyway.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see. And before that, Larry Nassar, the absolutely terrible human being who sexually assaulted
150 plus. It only got worse, and it's only getting worse for the university. But
it sure seems like a very. I know we compared it to Penn State, but It's way beyond Penn State.
It's Penn State and Baylor mixed together at this point.
But the cover-up wise is very reminiscent of Penn State.
Right.
It's like everybody knew, but nobody said anything.
A lot of
whenever accusations were made or fingers were pointed, the accusers kind of got the, I don't know if you want to go down that road.
Right. A lot of shrugging.
Yeah.
And ignoring. Really bad look. The sentencing for Nasser, a show in itself with the judge.
Incredible.
Relying on that note that he had sent the week before saying, I can't listen to more days of this. Yeah. Well, some of the excerpts that she had left to read at the sentencing saying that hell hath no fear like a woman scorned.
Yeah.
And they're just painting me out to be a bad guy. This man is a sociopath.
If I was so bad, why did they keep coming to me for treatment?
He never deserved a chance at redemption. I don't think he ever will or needed. I mean, this is a bad person to the core. So to see that 175-year sentence was refreshing.
Yeah. Probably not enough. I hope something terrible happens to that man.
That's a bad look. Boy, oh boy. I mean, yeah, that's one of this. I mean, I think the Penn State thing had much more traction in the media because it was football, right? Football.
Yeah.
Whereas this had to deal with gymnasts, essentially.
Right, exactly. I mean, unfortunately,
it just doesn't have the visual.
Football. Football is king in this country. So
yeah.
All right. Well.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boy, I should have mine open, huh?
Yeah, probably. You want me to buy some time?
No. I had it open, and apparently it closed. No, I'm ready to roll, Steve. I'm ready to roll.
Fast 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Michigan State.
Boy, it's terrible. It's a
right?
bad look for the whole university.
Ugly.
Very. I mean, I don't care about how the university comes out of it looking. It's,
right.
A lot of lives are ruined, and a lot of people have a lot of questions to answer.
State of the Union.
What's that, tonight or tomorrow?
Sure.
Yeah. Boy,
I think it's tomorrow. I think it's usually on a Monday.
Yeah. Boy, I bet that's really going to be what it takes to bring this whole country.
Think we're going to drop an N-word? Maybe a C-word?
Well, there will definitely be the L word. There will be losers.
Yeah. Fake news.
Yeah, fake news.
There's got to be some prop bets on that, right? About how many times those get dropped. There has to be.
Yeah, there's got to be.
The XFL.
I don't think it'll happen. It just doesn't seem like it. I don't know.
Get pumped,
that was
man.
such a weird.
It's football reimagined.
It was such a weird press conference.
Yeah,
because it was Vince standing in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
With XFL logos, and then all questions were taken
via
phone.
He had no answers, by the way.
No, and when did I know Vince, in character Vince. Mm-hmm. Has that grovelly voice.
Yeah. I think,
when did that become his everyday voice?
I think that's been him. I wonder if he really ruined or changed his voice from the years of wrestling where he would be screaming in the microphone and everything.
Did some permanent damage. Who knows?
Casey Affleck.
Oh, no. Is he back? More happened with him?
No, he just announced that he will not be attending the Oscars to hand off the award for Best Actress because he was the Best Actor winner last year, and
Is it really?
He will present the award for Best Actress, and then the Best Actress last year will hand off the Best Actor award.
Boy, why isn't he coming?
Man, it's sick.
What happened?
Got that cough that I had.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then finally, the Super Bowl halftime show.
Now that is Justin Timberlake.
JT.
And... just him?
JT.
So this is the first time he's been back since, 15 years ago?
Since Janet. So
with Nipplegate?
There's a prop bet.
Yeah.
Do you think Janet Jackson makes an appearance next Sunday?
Oh, boy. Imagine that. Boy, I can't think of something I'm less excited about.
Oh, come on. That was the FCC violation alone, Steve.
Dude, that had so many negative impacts on radio. It's ridiculous.
The overreaction to that whole thing is still one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Now, if that happened on an episode of Survivor, and it aired, because obviously it's the Super Bowl, so it's the most viewed program in the year.
Yeah.
Does it have any traction? Does anybody care? But I don't know. But it also matters. It's a celebrity, right? You're seeing a celebrity boob.
I think that I think that it's funny how different things were 15 years ago, where it was more about the indecency of it.
Yeah.
Whereas now it would be probably more along the lines of the
assault.
The Me Too movement.
Yeah.
It's weird how that kind of gets a pass.
It's weird.
Like, what's the statute of limitations? It just shows you how people are only concerned about, like, what's the current thing?
Right.
What's the current story?
Right. Yeah, and Timberlake hasn't done himself any favors in that regard either, working with Woody Allen.
Yeah.
One of the is, I think, Dylan Farrow.
Yes.
Ripped him a new one on Twitter this past week. So, before that, Casey Affleck won Best Actor a year ago for my favorite movie of the year, Manchester by the Sea.
Yep. He's not going to be there, though.
That movie kind of put him back in the limelight for some allegations of sexual assault or harassment from around the time when he was doing the documentary on Joaquin Phoenix and when he did the fake Going Crazy character. And so decided that he's not going to be attending the Oscars this year to hand off the award for Best Actress, which...
Probably a good idea.
Because at that point, you're risking to the actress maybe not accepting the award from him, and then it's a scene, and nobody really wants that at the Oscars. You just want it to go smooth. So, boy, because Ben Affleck also not attending for similar... I mean, he'd been accused of some stuff as well. The whole shape of Hollywood is going to be different.
Oh, it sure is.
In a few years. This is nuts.
It seems like this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Too.
Now, we talked about the XFL before that. Coming back, you don't seem nearly as excited as me, Steve, for the 50-yard scrum for the football.
Well, the thing that I do like is that it seems like Vince at least is learning from the mistakes that they made the first time, where it was like the overly sexualized...
Yeah, the cheerleader locker room
cam trying to cross-promote by having wrestlers there.
Jesse Ventura was the sideline reporter.
Having wrestling announcers in the booth. Just if you want to do a football league, just make it a football league.
Right.
There's no, you don't need a cross-promote. WWE is perfectly popular. Like, 1 million people watch it. You don't need to try and get more of that audience. But I think, obviously, they were trying to bring that audience from wrestling over to the XFL. But it seems like they learned from it.
Yeah,
so,
the description is that he made it sound like it's going to be the polar opposite. Said he's going to have all the medical experts to make it as safe as he can.
Yeah.
No WWE crossover in terms of announcers or anything like that. Giving himself 2 years. I don't know if it's going to be successful long term. I really don't. I don't know if the talent pool's there because the money's still with the NFL. But I always like competition. Always appreciate the open market of.
I'll be interested.
Yeah, you'll be watching opening weekend,
I was
right?
Say I'm not overly excited because I'm not a huge wrestling fan.
Right.
I'm not a diehard football fan.
Right.
So combining the two, I'm like, I'll be more interested to see how it goes. So I'll watch, and if it's good, I'll keep watching. If it's not, we'll see.
Definite curiosity. The State of the Union address. Now, we believe that is Monday. So by the time you're hearing this, I think it'll already have been done.
Yeah.
Is it a canned speech, pre-written? Do you think he won't have any
100% canned speech?
But you don't think he'll have any input, and you don't think he'll slip in any of his?
I think he'll have input, but I think that I think it'll be very tame.
Boy, I don't know. I feel like he's going to make sure there's still some.
He's going to go rogue. Like, imagine, because they have those projectors that are in front of them that they're reading off of. It's like a teleprompter, but it's like that clear.
Yeah, it's like a hologram-ish type of thing.
Just imagine if, like, 2-3 minutes into the speech, he goes, "Hold on," and reaches into his pocket and pulls out like a
college ruled, handwritten.
I would,
Here we go.
Here
we go. I mean, this will even during the years of Obama and Bush, this is set up to be easily the most divisive State of the Union speech ever.
Well, it's just the whole pomp and circumstance of, like, half the room stands up in applause while the other half just sits there with, mad looks on their face.
Yeah, I think I'll sit this one out.
Yeah.
Before that, Michigan State University, my sports team.
You got to be a little torn.
Not anymore. I thought about it yesterday. So there was a recent ESPN report that came out that said there's been a decade-long history of ignoring and not properly handling sexual assault. A friend and I were talking about it. started to think about, well, you handled this to the authorities, and then didn't even get through typing that and said, you know what? Screw it. I don't care. If it comes out that either the head football coach, the head basketball coach, who are long time,
So that's Izzo and
Mark D'Antonio, had anything to do with minimizing or not reporting sexual assaults, I want to be on the right side of things. I don't care. Burn it down. Fire them both.
Wow.
Start from the bottom.
Now if that happens,
sports is not worth it to me to be on the wrong side of thinking.
That's surprising to hear, and not because I would think that you would put sports above it, but I'm because I know you're obviously a diehard Michigan State fan.
Right.
So say that happens. Worst case scenario. Everybody knew, all the people that you look up to, or who you would put on the Mount Rushmore of Michigan State athletics,
which both of them would be right now.
Sure. So say everybody gets blown out.
Yep.
Izzo's gone. D'Antonio's gone.
Yep.
Athletic directors,
already
everybody.
gone.
Yeah. Everybody from the entire athletic department is gone. Are you then back on board as a fan? Or are you like, nope, I've had enough, I'm done?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm still a fan. I think I still follow it no matter what. I mean, but again, I don't want to be that guy thinking up, well, technically he did what he had to do. No, if it comes out that the head football coach actually told a player when informed about a sexual assault allegation to go talk to your mom, and this is part of the reason he gets fired, fire him.
Yeah.
I don't care. They made the final 4 teams in the football playoff. They won the Rose Bowl. For me, man, I can't. I need to be an adult. Probably not. I think Izzo would retire if that came to it. If he was fired, I don't know if he'd get another coaching job.
Because I've thought about that before with when everything went down with Penn State back in 2012, I think it was.
Boy, was it then?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
2012, 2013, something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Joe Paterno fired.
Yep. AD president.
Now, he was he 80? 80 years old?
Yeah.
If he was 60 when that happened, do you think he's back to work now?
I wonder if he takes another job somewhere. But it's weird because
now, obviously,
you look at,
he's dead now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm saying, like, in this alternate universe where Paterno had that crazy run and he was as beloved as he was, and he gets fired. Yeah, 5 years later, does he have a job somewhere?
Well, you look at the Ohio State head coach who got fired he was part of the tattoo scandal thing, all the Ohio State players were getting different things for their signed merch, so he got fired as part of that whole thing.
Right.
He's still not back to work.
Yeah.
He's working as like an assistant. I don't know if 65-year-old Joe Paterno, after head coaching Penn State for 30 years, accepts assistant coach at Tulane.
Yeah, probably doesn't need it.
He doesn't need to. Because, I mean, you saw the reaction when he got fired.
Yeah.
There were people chanting outside his house, upset that he got fired anyway, when in hindsight, history is going to show that those people are going to look like scumbags now.
Yeah, but they'll never, they won't admit it.
No, and that's part of the reason that, for me, it's not worth it. As much as I love the football and basketball programs, obviously that pales in any comparison to women being sexually assaulted and having no avenue to report it to the police or get it properly investigated. And it's not worth it for me to be the guy to sit there and go, what happens everywhere else?
But they're good at
They're
football.
good. Right. I love their football team. I love it. Both of those coaches have brought them to to peaks that a university in Lansing, Michigan should never reach. Mm-hmm. But it's not worth it. Be on the right side of history for this. If you're a Michigan State fan and it comes out, please be on the right side of history for this.
Yeah, be able to separate.
Yes.
That would be nice. Really ending on a... You all right there?
No.
By the way...
You got like a joke of the day, so we don't have to end on that?
Well, you just coughed there. About 15 of those have been edited out of this episode.
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I barely coughed. Like once?
Yeah, we do need a... Okay, type in joke of the day real quick. We need it.
We can't end on that, no, on Larry Nassar.
No.
And Michigan State University. Okay, joke of the day. This is straight from... it's going to be straight from the Laugh Factory, Steve.
Oh, boy.
So get ready for the chuckles, the yucks. Blonde decided to paint a room When her husband got home, he asked, "Why are you wearing an Alaskan and a winter coat?" She replied, "The can said for best results, apply 2 coats." Blonde joke. For the win right there. That's from MBoom123, submitted to Laugh Factory. If you were born in September, it's pretty safe to assume that your parents started their new year with a bang. Get it?
Get it?
Parents had sex.
Yeah. Parent sex jokes.
There you go, guys. Forget about the rape culture at Michigan State University.
Yeah.
Blonde joke and a parents having sex joke.
Hey, thanks for listening. You can download, subscribe, and review the show in iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play,
Google
TuneIn,
Play,
Stitcher, and on Libsyn. You can follow us on Twitter at Steve and Kyle, Facebook.com/Steve and Kyle, and of course the wildly popular Steve and Kyle Snapchat, Steve and Kyle Pod.
Yeah, and also don't forget, tweet at FreeBeerGreg. Also Facebook, the Free Beer and Hot Wings Show. That is hashtag no thanks, hashtag hard pass, hashtag spaghetti hat.
Or spaghetti pants.
And then tag us in it as well, so he can see those and wonder what the hell that means.
We need for him to be as confused as possible.
Yeah.
Maybe throw in like listen to the latest Steve and Kyle podcast, and then just put in a random timestamp like, listen at the 1 minute and 42 second mark, and then somebody else follow up by saying like, oh yeah, but you should listen at 33:13.
Get him super confused.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to make.
I need him
here
to be so confused that it voluntarily comes up on the radio show.
This podcast is going to permeate that radio show one way or another.
All right, we will talk to you next week. See ya.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Parents, could your high school senior or recent grad use free money for college or career training? Fund their path with the Michigan Achievement Scholarship. Odds are they'll qualify for tuition-free community college, up to $27,500 at a public or private university, or up to $4,000 for a career training program. Simply fill out the FAFSA to apply. Get started at mi.gov/achievement.
Attention small business owners. Struggling to stay compliant with 1099 reporting or keep up with changing tax regulations? Discover eFile My Forms, your fast, cost-effective solution for hassle-free tax compliance. Our platform supports over 25 IRS-compliant federal and state tax forms, from W-2s and 1099s to ACA forms, allowing you to file securely in minutes, not hours. With built-in 10 validation and one-click electronic filing, we ensure accuracy every step of the way. Need to print and mail recipient statements? We've got that covered too. Track your filing status easily within the platform for peace of mind throughout the process. The best part? You can start using eFile My Forms today for free. No credit card required. Don't let tax season overwhelm your business. Visit eFileMyForms.com and see how easy year-end reporting can be. eFile My Forms, simplifying compliance for small businesses everywhere.